this is Beth Sager with Lexington Locals, and today I'm so excited to be here with John and Jillian at Twist Gallery. This is the most beautiful home, plus has all this beautiful artwork. Tell me about your inspiration.
Well, where do we start? Well, the gallery, we've been here about 6 or 7 years, and I used to be a member, for anyone who might remember Lexington back in 2009, the Depot Square Gallery that was right here in town closed down. But that was the impetus for us thinking about maybe a different model, and we wanted to show art. 20 of us artists had nowhere to show our art, so we thought that showing art in a home setting would be a great idea. Art looks different when it's in a home setting, and we like to buy art, bring it home, and when you put it on the wall and put things around it to make it feel at home, it's a different kind of experience viewing it. So we wanted to do that, and this house came up for sale.
Yeah, we thought it would make a great backdrop to show art in, and I think that's proven to be the case. And one of the things that, well, Jill does a lot of is the way we stage the art. So although the art's on the wall, we often put objects around the piece of art that speak to it in some way, which you'll see later on in the video, I think.
Okay, good. And do you both have art backgrounds?
Not really. I'm an artist, so that's, as I say, how we got into doing this. Suddenly I was an artist with nowhere to show my work. I'm a printmaker. I make monoprints and monotypes. John has no art background, but we run the business between us. So between us, we got all bases covered pretty much. His background is in finance.
Okay, well that's good.
Yeah.
So tell me about your gallery, though. It's open a limited time in the year, correct?
Yeah, we do 5 shows a year.
Okay.
But when we're open solid. So for example, this show is, I think we started, the 2nd of December, it goes through to the 2nd of January. So we're open throughout every day except Christmas Eve, Christmas, and after Christmas, day after Christmas. But that's basically what we do for most shows. We're open,
every day, 11 to 5. Yeah, every day. When we're open, we're really open.
You're open. And do you have to make an appointment, or do you just knock on the door?
There was a time when we did that in the height of the pandemic, but now, no, we're open for drop-ins, as I say, 11 to 5 any day, and if the times don't work for you, because we live here as well, we can be flexible, so if people want to come out of hours, they can call us up or email us about that.
Nice. And do you change the art every time for the show? Or?
We do.
Yeah. We have, in this show, we have probably around 50 artists.
Wow.
They're all New England artists, all from New England.
They're all local, yeah.
All local. But every show we change the artists. Some of the same artists, we show their work in subsequent shows, but we try to have new artists in every show. And typically what happens is, when we first started, it was very much us going out and finding artists, but now that we've been here for 7 years, artists find us. So there's really no shortage of good art that we can find.
Yeah, every show is different. So the 5 shows that we do, we always do this one at the holiday time we call Illumination. The art itself has no theme, but there's lights and candles and so on.
Nice.
We do one in the around February. We always call that a room with a view, because we have just one artist's work in each room of the gallery, so that's a little different. In the spring we do a printmaking show. As I say, I'm a printmaker, so we have a soft spot for printmaking. And then we do 2 themed shows, one in early summer and one in the fall. So that's kind of our little routine that we've fallen into. It seems to work okay.
And before we go to the galleries, just logistically, so you change up the shows, and as a realtor, just curious, your walls, I mean, how do you hang these things? You just keep changing out the nail holes, or?
Yeah.
That's my job.
Okay.
So hopefully, from show to show, we'll put a piece up which will hide the previous nail mark, but sometimes I have to go around with some spackling and fill some holes in and do some painting. But,
he's got very good. We've got very good little nails that make a tiny hole, and you can fill it pretty easily. So
your walls are
it's
in
not
beautiful
bad.
shape, especially for an old house. So.
Right.
So where would you like to show us first?
Well, where should we start? Right here.
Sure.
So right here in the foyer, as you can see. We usually try and put a good variety in the foyer to give it flavor, a taste of what's to come, especially when we do a theme show. And you can see from looking at the pieces right here that we have work in all different kinds of media. So we have oil paintings like this one. This is a Jane Parsons piece. We have printmaking. This is an etching. We have collage, mixed media pieces. This is an encaustic piece. This little one is very cool. It's made of, encaustic art is made of beeswax. So that is melted beeswax that the artist has added some colored pigment to, and this artist does crazy wild things with it. So she uses it like a sculpture, I guess, and molds and shapes it with her hands. And behind you there's another encaustic piece, which is more like a painting with the beeswax again. We have some 3D work. So this little piece is a artist, Laurie Bogdan, who takes vintage irons and then adds the Scrabble pieces, and there's a little message there which I'll leave you to work out. What else do we have here? Behind you, if you want to look over here. So this little grouping again is all different media, paintings, batik, more encaustic, some
Jill,
very realistic.
Jill, do you want to explain why you have the record here?
So this is an example of kind of what makes us a gallery with a twist. We call ourselves Gallery Twist. So one, it's in a home setting, which is a little unusual, but two, we also put these little things beside the artwork. So the Hershey's Kisses have the little kiss beside. And this is a painting of a Boston barber shop, which is called Elvis and Eli's. Beautifully done by Debbie Shirley, and it's called A Little Less Conversation, which you might miss as a reference to the Elvis song. So just to draw attention to that, we have the little Elvis record and the Scrabble letters continuing the song, A Little Less Conversation, a little more action. I won't sing it, but that's what that's for.
All right, that's impressive, right?
Okay.
Like, that must be fun for you guys, right?
It's fun. You can tell we have fun with this, and that's, people do seem to enjoy that part. It helps people to, I think, the idea of it is that people slow down a little while they're looking at the art, and it draws attention to something about the art that might otherwise be missed, and helps people to really engage with each different piece. So,
this show's been a little slightly different from the others because on a couple of occasions we've had people who wanted to buy the art, but they've also wanted to buy the staging that goes with the art. So
it happens. And that's okay
nice,
sometimes.
right?
Yeah.
Right? You want the whole thing. So.
Do you want to look in the dining room?
Yeah, sure.
So,
After you.
So we always set up the home
Oh,
to be, like a home. So we always set the dining room table
Okay.
somewhat as a table setting, but of course we're doing it to highlight the artwork. So you can see that each place setting has a piece of art right beside it. And so we also add little things like, so these are ceramic pieces by Harvey Greenberg, and we've added the little things that relate to the ceramic process or the tools that he might use and so on. So we have fun with that.
So clever.
And then as you can see, we set up the artwork as you might if you displayed it in your own space.
Right. Right. This is beautiful work on top of it.
Yeah, each room has its own flavor in most shows. So this room is very much black and white this time around. Next show will be different. It just helps to give each room its own look and feel.
Cool. Lovely.
I think as Jill was saying, rather than, for this show anyway, rather than put one artist in the room, we try to mix up the art. So you'll see different media, different artists, and we'll try to, one piece will speak to another piece. So Jill, this fiber work next to the other fiber.
We put pieces together that talk together nicely, so it's almost like a little conversation. So as John says, these two pieces, we felt that they worked well together. This one, with it's a tapestry that's been handmade by Anya Gilmore, and the sort of leafy forms at the side of that talk very much to the same form that you see in this fiber piece by Diane Franklin. So we do try and do that, and then to really put it together, we also put things, as I say, this piece, we put a little display which talks to that. So we have the little cotton reels because it's a fibre piece, and the needles and the thread to just draw attention to the fact that that's how that piece was made, and the structure and form of it as well.
So tell me this then, when you're creating a show, do you get the pieces in and then figure out how they can collaborate, or do you have a vision for the dining room and then you pull the pieces? Like chicken or the egg? I guess.
Typically we send out an invitation to artists just a bit work. We tell them if it's a theme show, we say what the theme is, and we give them I suppose a few ideas of what they might want to send us. And then Jill basically goes through all the entries, figures out which ones we'd like to show.
Yeah, we'll be sent thousands of images.
Really?
So it's a kind of a project to pick out. Basically we pick things that we like, and we always try and pick a variety, so different media, different sizes, different styles of work, different prices.
Okay.
So there's always a good variety for, depending on what your taste is. Hopefully you'll see something that you like and fits your budget and so on. And then, we just have the artists, they're very trusting, they deliver their work here to us, and then we decide, we've got a good mix, but we think what group of pieces will work together, and then what room will we put them in, and that's kind of a process, but...
I would imagine.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like so impressive.
Yeah, we have the artists drop the work off, maybe 3 weeks before the show actually begins, so we have plenty of time that process, and then physically hang everything, and then we take some time as well to do the little things we put around each piece as well. So, yeah.
All right, where should we go next?
You have time for more?
Sure.
As you can see, this room has a very different look and feel to the one we were just in. The colour theme is mostly greens and golds, and the subject matter is mostly very, pastoral, landscapey feeling. So yeah, as you can see, as you look around, this little grouping here, you can see this is a good example of how we choose things to hang together. So you see, as well as fitting the green and gold theme that we have going, there's very much a circular theme. So each piece has that, and even this little watercolor that is called concentric. So the little circles in the water there. So yeah, nice little grouping, and as you look around the room, you'll see, as we've said, very different media in here. Lots of painting.
Joe, this example we hadn't shown this artist prior to this show.
Yeah.
And he approached us and asked us whether we'd like to show his work. And Joe, do you want to explain it? It's sculpture.
These are all different ways of working, I guess. So he works with he's found at the Arnold Arboretum. I don't know if he has arrangement with them, but so it's all local wood as well as being made by a local artist. And he works in different ways, as you can see. These are carved, and you can see very much where that came from, a walnut tree. And this one's been hollowed out. And then he also works in this, I love this way of working. So these are part of his series of boxes. He calls them boxes, but that's really just they don't look like a box, but they do open. So this one has a lid that comes off, and you can store, precious things, I guess, in there. So very cleverly made, and as I say, all from local wood.
Wow, lovely.
So
what does the red dot mean, sold?
it does, yes.
Wow.
Yes.
So a lot of people come here and purchase.
Everything is available for sale.
Okay.
And yes, some people will purchase something and decide that they want it to stay in the show until the show is done, and then they'll collect, or we'll deliver it to them. And then other people, and this is fine too, especially at this time of year, will see something and they'll want to take it right away, and that's fine as well.
Right.
So we've got plenty more art waiting in the wings to take place of things that go to a new home.
Right. Do you have any of your artwork in this show?
This show I don't. At the beginning I had my work in every show, but because I'm more doing this and less in my studio, my inventory's pretty low now.
Gotcha.
So yeah, this is my new kind of art making.
And so I know that you do this in your house, but you must have like a warehouse full of stuff. Like, where do you keep all your accoutrements and all the art?
Yeah, people ask that a lot. We have a basement, which is large, and we'd like it to be a little better organized, but it's certainly got the space.
Okay.
A lot of
everything.
the staging comes from Brimfield,
Oh,
which
okay.
is a local, excuse
Yeah, I
me,
think
local
Antiques fair.
antiques fair.
Okay.
It's one
So-
of my favourite places.
yeah,
But, you know, local antique shops and so
Right.
on,
Right.
I like to
Gotcha.
frequent. Yeah.
Nice. Nice. Well, thank you so much for your time. This is just beautiful.
Right.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Yeah. It is amazing.